One thing I was very naive about early in my sober struggle, sober life, when in the beginning days of my sobriety, and when I finally had gotten some sober time, I thought, and believing in God and trusting in the Lord and all that stuff, I said, well, my entire life, even before I used drugs, I just said, well, one day you get to a point in your life where it's like you're grandfathered in and everything is peaches and cream and, graham crackers, marshmallows, and Hershey bars melt together, and it's an all-you-can-eat buffet of that, and yoo-hoo the entire rest of your days. It's not that way at all. I remember telling my doctor when I started taking low doses of Suboxone. I never took, and I have never gotten high off of Suboxone. People have convinced me that you can. The Holy Spirit, God, told me, don't take the full amount of this stuff. And I just went with it. I didn't know what I knew now, but I went with it. So I remember telling the doctor, well, I'm behaving myself. I'm doing everything right. I'm not fucking doing this, and this. And I've been sober for this many days. When am I gonna feel better? And he's like, oh, well, your brain has to, and I'm sure, your dopamine and serotonin and all that shit and stuff we don't even know that exists is, rewiring itself. And I'm sure the Suboxone, don't get me wrong, that shit doesn't help. It does help with the cravings, but there's no such thing as a free lunch. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about that. Most people already know what I could say about that and da-da-da-da-da, so I'm just going to fast forward through that. But I had this, Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffith Mayberry fucking fantasy in my life that God and the world were going to come together and look down on me and go, here is a person that has made it through long enough. We're no longer going to mess with him because now he has decided to be a good, moral person and a steward and son of the faith. You know what I mean? Or something ridiculous like that. And I just remember praying to God, well, man, I think I can get through this, but I'm going to need your help. And there were days, if not months, 310 pounds, that God gave me the strength, sleep apnea, low testosterone, just weaker than I've ever been in my entire life. And that is one of my biggest fears is sometimes I'll go to the gym. It maybe happens 2 or 3 times a year. I'll go to the gym and I just can't get anything firing. I don't feel raw. When I'm on my way to the gym and I'm just move, get out of my way. I'm throwing the dog on the couch, getting in the car, getting my bike, just run. It's like a fucking 9/11 emergency. I don't want this feeling to end. You know what I mean? Not that every workout's going to be like that, but when I go and it's kind of like, it's kind of like a bad, I don't know, a bad 80s movie, I guess. 7:15, we should hit that alarm. This is the second time out for the dog. Kind of changed some things up in my diet. I'm eating more pineapple and papaya, and I'm cutting up fruit and freezing it the night before. You need a bath. All right, we're going home. I got to put my coordinates in the other phone, and see where we're going. So yeah, I was under, my biggest fear is, not being able to feel that, not being able to work out and not being able to, I couldn't stand up. Anybody that's been morbidly obese, and that's what I would call it, is definitely morbidly obese. I wasn't fat enough yet to get the surgery, but I was heading to that arena, you know what I mean? Or get the stomach thing, you know what I mean? And I've got pictures, older pictures. I got everything straightened out in my life. I got the fucking cage figured out. Got that tightened up. Got that straightened up. What's up, brother? How are you? Got all that figured out. But my biggest fear was, sometimes I'll go to the gym and I just don't feel like oomph. I'm almost 50. I don't make excuses or anything. Sometimes it's I didn't eat. Sometimes I'm crashing from caffeine. Sometimes I'm just emotionally and fucking mentally exhausted. Sometimes I just been too hot. Come on. Sometimes it's just too hot, but it only happens a couple times. But my biggest fear is, I'm so grateful to be able to do what I do. Even if I couldn't work out, just being able to work more than fucking 15 minutes and be able to not have to sit down or be out of breath. I used to bench press 450 pounds, you know what I mean? I'm barely able to walk up the stairs at a time and carry groceries, So, I don't know, I was just under this impression that things were, I don't feel like people are sleeping, it's 7 o'clock, to me it's like noon. To me it's like, I just felt like, what if, what if things never get better, What if things legitimately never get better? And I just said, well, God didn't bring me this far to fail. You know what I mean? God didn't bring me this far to fail. This is what it is. And I'm just so grateful for it. And yeah, actually things got harder. That's what I wanted to get to. Things got a lot. Is this open or closed? Come on. Come on. What the fuck are you doing? Let's go. You little nerd. Get in that house. Okay, before I show you. Come on, dude. Get your butt in the house. Go lay down. Go lay down. Don't look at me for stuff. Go lay down. Grab this cat over here. Yeah, so I was just under the impression that things were, I fucking hate sand, but it's better than snow. I just was under the impression that things were going to be better overnight. Things don't get better when you get sober. They actually get worse for a while, but through prayer and everything else, you will develop the tools to handle it. And God sent the Holy Spirit to comfort us and direct us. And I can't tell you how many times, a day, I pray, how many times in the morning I just to get, a word from God. I'll turn on my pastor, Carter Conlon. I don't fill my day up with the world. I don't fill my day up with, Jersey Shore. You know what I mean?